The People's Talk Show is starting now, and it's time for business. Let's talk about today's news and give me a call.
All right, we we are live for a Thursday edition of the People's Talk Show, and running a little bit behind on the back end, but scrambling trying to put together some last minute things. But I wanted to connect this evening, have a little fun, and just lay back a little bit and try to make sense of all the craziness happening in the world on top of everything else. But hope everyone is doing well. As always, welcome to the live stream. Looking forward to finding out what's on your radar, what you guys keep an eye on. As always, there's more than enough stories we can touch on, but I have maybe 4 or 5 stories that caught my attention. And I guess more importantly, from an entertainment standpoint, another movie that was just, the trailer was just released. I'm sure by now everyone's heard about it, called Civil War, that's coming in spring of next year. So interesting trailer, very timely to say the least, but coincidental as far as the timing of all these videos coming out, dropping all these subliminal messages slash predictive programming. Who knows? But it's entertaining to say the least. But looking forward to finding out what's on your radar, and hopefully everything is flowing smoothly. Let me get it a second here. For those who are plugged in, let me know via thumbs up in the chat if the audio is good, so that I know I'm not talking to myself. And of course, this is going to be just a very light live stream this evening. We'll see where it takes us. Want to get as much participation, interaction as possible. And also, I haven't done a little face-to-face in a good little minute for a live stream. So if you guys have interest in basically just coming on the show and asking a question, sharing a thought, would definitely love to have you guys participate. So hopefully everything is flowing smoothly. Let me know in the chat, man. Hopefully more people are notified. It's kind of late, but I'll just go through the things that caught my attention and get you guys to chime in as well. What's up, Daryl, my friend? How you doing? Okay, got thumbs up there, so everything should be flowing smoothly. All right, so we got Ed checking in. Mike, appreciate you, man. So more people are plugging in, and I wish the bell notifications actually worked. I don't know if people get notified these days or what. So it's kind of like just throwing it up in the air and seeing what sticks. But we'll make the best of it. Fishbowl Media, how you doing? All right, so for those who are plugged in thus far, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up button, show your support for the channel. Hopefully, as always, these little bit of acts of kindness, acts of love shows the YouTube God or the YouTube algorithms that you guys want to connect, and make sure you're notified. So it looks like my screen is acting up on me on the back end here. So let me see what's going on here. Let me see what I'm missing here. All right. So hopefully it's okay. All right. So let's not waste any more time. Okay. I want to get your thoughts on a variety of subjects, so we'll touch on that. As always, feel free to throw out anything that come across your radar, and I'll go through some headlines that caught my attention, see where it takes us. So let's have a little fun. But before I do that, I always got to big up my people over 4 Patriots because the more of these warning signs were being given in reference to just taking some precautionary measures to make sure that you're not left stranded, left on the high end without anything. I'm going to continue to remind people the importance of emergency preparedness. And so I appreciate the support from 4 Patriots to show the channel love, as well as give you guys a chance to get your calories up, get your weight up, you get your energy up, you name it. So if you go to 4patriots.com/RTD, you guys can get a variety of items they have here. And I want to say, I have quite an assortment of emergency preps. And so I'm very grateful to be able to get this stuff. And so they got all of the stuff you need. Water purification system is going to be crucial, people. Make sure you got your water purification. You got your solar generators. You got your food. You got your seeds. And you get your medicines as well. Just stuff you just never know when you might need it. If you do, if you don't, it's better to have it than not. And also to make sure I big up their power generator as well. Something that you don't want to do without if stuff hits the fan. So 4patriots.com/RTD. Check them out and make sure you stay prepared, people. All right, let's jump right into it. Okay, so I actually, had a lot of this stuff prepared yesterday, but didn't get a chance getting around to having a live stream. But I saw the trailer for the movie Civil War, and a lot of interesting nuances throughout the movie. One of the main themes is division amongst the states. There's a breakup of the states. It looks like for some reason they picked two of the most unlikely states to join forces in this movie, Texas and California. But then again, that plays into some of the um, drama and stuff like that. But it says Kirsten Dunst documents a divided America under President Nick Offerman and shocking Civil War trailer. And I'm sure by now everybody's had a chance to watch the trailer. And of course, when it comes out, I mean, just for entertainment's sake, of course, I'm going to go see it. But curious to get your guys' thoughts on it. But I did catch a lot of interesting comments on Twitter yesterday that I wanted to make sure I highlight just because it's interesting perspective. And so this is from Sovereign Bruh. It says the media's predictive programming machinery is set to max overdrive right now. It says first the Obama movie about cyber attacks. Now this film about a civil war in America where American right wingers are depicted murdering civilians and journalists. It says the elites are dead set on conditioning as much fear and hysteria in the left as they possibly can in preparation for whatever lies ahead. And so, of course, the trailer here, and then some of the things that stood out here was the map. Let me see if I can get to this map here. Where's this map? Let me get to this part. So it's real faint. It's real subtle. Let me see if I can find the map. Where did it go? Yeah, here we go. So this map right here. This map on the screen is real subtle, but as you can see, it's their representation or version of a divided America. And so you got the blue, dark blue, you got the light blue. And so it's just, it's just a lot of detail once again in this movie here. And so it'll be interesting to see how things play out. And then here's another little idea that somebody shared. And make stuff just make you think. And so giving this is an overall synopsis of what the movie's about. It says here, a new film coming to America in spring of 24. Here are my takeaways. It says 19 states appear to have seceded from the Union and are called the Western Forces, i.e. California and Texas, as well as the Florida Alliance. They appear to be in war against the U.S. government. It says the Western Forces will reach the White House on July 4th. The U.S. military appears to be activated and fighting against Americans to the point of dropping airstrikes on American citizens. They've dropped airstrikes on American citizens before. Was that Boston? I think I heard it was. I saw some video footage from it. It says at the 08 mark, the second mark, you got a 3-term president. At the 41st second mark, there's a map and a reflection. I just showed you that. At the 51 second mark, there's a sign on the building that says Jesus saves. It says the story appears to follow a team of journalists possibly trying to expose what's going on. They shoot journalists on site at the Capitol. And so, yeah, just more interesting events unfolding right now. And I think what's different about this movie trailer is that on top of the, I guess, cyber event that was a part of the first movie from the Obamas, here we got the Civil War aspect. And so there clearly was a civil war or civil unrest for sure in New York City during that first movie from Netflix, Leave the World Behind. And so could this movie here be picking up on some of the more intricate details of civil unrest within cities? And so who knows? We'll find out. But, once again, it's entertainment until it's not. But it's one of those things where it's only so many of these warnings, heads ups, or just, fluke, entertaining experimentations they're putting out there that before something like this actually pops off. Whether or not it's on this type of magnitude, who knows? But it's worth paying attention to just because, you never know what's going on. And so the idea of being as prepared as you can for whatever, can never be understated. So just something worth bringing to your attention. Curious to get your thoughts on that. And here's another little issue that we'll probably hear more about. Ammo prices set to rise substantially. And so this came out, article was released a week ago, or actually about 2 weeks ago now, but it flew under the radar. And so if you're not in the ammunition, the guns, or stuff like that, you probably wouldn't have noticed it. And so I follow several people in this line of entertainment. So I caught a hold of this, And I thought I would just bring it to your attention because once again, we witnessed the ammo issue back when the lockdown slash shutdown of the economy happened. All the shelves were bare as everybody named Mother ran out to get some guns and ammunition. We had the highest amount of guns being sold during that 1 year stretch in 2001, I think it was. And so imagine heading into a new year of uncertainty. We know that things are not looking all that healthy overall. And so we got all these warning signs flashing. I had assumed that the shelves will be bare again when it comes to ammo. So for my people who love to make sure that you get your lead up, might want to take advantage of the opportunity to get it now, because there's one thing is for sure: it will become unobtainable at some point, or unaffordable, or you're gonna have to pay a hefty premium for whatever you get. And because in a worst case scenario, you know, every shot counts. So you can't afford really to not be on point with your accuracy. But real quick, it says Vista Outdoor, a parent company to many firearm businesses, told Newsweek that it will be substantially increasing its ammunition prices due to, quote, an anticipated global shortage of gunpowder. Anticipated. So is that like they got the heads up, or they were told by certain governments that they're going to have to start selling to them and less to the public? Who knows? It says the Minnesota-based company confirmed the authenticity of December 1st letter sent to customers that it would go ahead with across-the-board increase of ammunition and gunpowder prices on January 1st. It says due to world events, our suppliers have notified us unprecedented demand for anticipated global shortage of gunpowder, yada, yada, yada. So it says companies that will increase the prices: Remington, Alliant Powder, CCI, Federal, CVI Shot, and Spear. So we got shotgun shells, rifle, handgun, tutu. We got Premier, we got Lion Powder, you name it. So January 1st, expect the prices on the shelves to go up. And so that's just an ammo. So I'd imagine every other area of life, who knows? But this is just what's happening in the mainstream, caught my attention. And of course, we got Jerome Powell, third pause. I mean, all that stuff right there. After a while, you come to expect more of the same from the Federal Reserve banking system. And so here's something else we're paying attention to. This came out the other day. UK could be brought to a halt at any moment by a cyber attack, a report warns. So they got one of their government entities says the Joint Committee on the National Security Strategy says the largest swaths of critical infrastructure are vulnerable to ransomware attacks. So you mean to tell me governments spend all this bread to maintain themselves and they can't protect themselves as far as their cyber security? Or this is just more priming for what they would like to lay as a foundation to as their arguing point, saying that we warned you that we were vulnerable here and there. So if you really were vulnerable, why would you be telling people that? Because you might want to protect yourselves. Anyway, real quick here, it says Parliament's Joint Committee on the National Security Strategy said responsibility for tackling ransom attacks should be taken off the Home Office. It says which reports accused of giving political priority to other issues. So they're basically saying that we haven't been paying attention the way we should have. So it's a vulnerable issue. And it says the UK is unprepared for a large-scale ransomware attack at any moment. Could be brought to a standstill as news reports. So ransomware, cyber, civil unrest, man, this is what's happening. And then you factor in, we have UK Metro's bank down, leaving customers without access to their accounts. So this was as of today. It says, man, that bank is down. On top of all the banks we've had here in the U.S., UK Metro's bank experienced widespread outage on Thursday, rendering online services and mobile apps inaccessible. Thousands of customers left without access to their accounts. Concerns escalate over the impact and duration of this disruption. So, just for the sake of hypothetical experimentation, just thought process here. So we got all this cyber attack information. We know the World Economic Forum has some plan, Cyber Polygon, which is going to be, and I did a video a while ago. I forgot the name of it, but it was one where the central banks and the governments were working together. Let me think of it. Not sure offhand, but I did a video on it. Let me see if I can grab this video real quick because it's going to bug me if I don't. It was an exercise that took place earlier this year. Cyber, let me see here. Let me see if I can go through the catalog real quick and find it. No sanctions. Man, it's gonna bug me. Anyway, so it was a weird name. I forgot the name of it, but it was something that was like, okay, you got all these governments, central banks, and everybody and their mother preparing for hypotheticals. Like, damn, they got their user guide already ready for what they'll do in response to an event that they know is coming. Yeah. Anyway, keep it moving. So my point was, imagine just more of the unfortunate news of just being connected to the internet. So if telecommunications go down, internet go down, you name it, access to bank accounts, all the stuff like that is offline. Life won't be the same for everybody. Everything comes to a halt. And how ironic is it that their solution will end up being when things come back online, in order to log in order to get access to your local internet provider, you're more than likely going to have a digital ID, so they can, as they say, so they can verify that it's you. So just go through a couple scenarios here. An event occurs, whether it be, with the markets, or something to cover up the markets, or an event to cover up as of right now, the landslide victory that Donald Trump would have if they actually allow the election to go through. So those are some three scenarios. The market go down as an event, an intentional cyber event to do with covering up the banks, or the presidential event. So those are three catalysts in 2024 on top of whatever else. Okay. So an event occurs. The time frame could be, it's not, I don't see it being a prolonged, like half a year type of thing, because they want to still control things and keep things, relatively calm and mild, because they don't want to lose complete control. They want to basically, like this past health event we had, 2 weeks to slow the curve, that type of narrative. So it could be a 2 week, which turned into, several months, but depending on where it's at geographically, it could be, ideal 2 weeks, no internet. Think about how slow life would be, all, access to retail, shopping, clothes, banks. I mean, yeah. So definitely everybody's gonna be on pause. But then after what, maybe about 5 days, there's gonna be a lot of unrest as far as people not being able to get access to things they want. And I think the power probably will still be on, but just like that movie, no telecommunications. Therefore, just being disconnected, not knowing anything. And then, of course, when people don't have answers to their questions, what happens? They tend to roam. And so people will probably venture out looking for answers, and then, of course, come across all types of crazy stuff. But the point is, during that time frame there, it's going to be complete confusion. And so it's going to be a short period of time, in my opinion, just because they don't want people to go completely ballistics, and they don't want everybody to kill off population. They want to save a little something for themselves, I think. So the point is, when things do come back on, however it comes back on, there's going to come on with some criteria, things you have to meet, because their solution on top of that would be the digital ID. You got to somehow, the government will announce that, in order to prevent future hacking and, guard your safety, we're going to have you log on with this government issue digital ID, whatever it be called. And so everybody will have to activate it. It's basically be a social security number and maybe a photo ID or something like that, just to get into the system. So bam, they got you. They know where you're at in real time, outside of what they already know. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Then, because things are going to be chaotic with the banking sector, the people who have a lot, they've already gotten out. So they're not as worse off as people who are the middle class, the working class, the day-to-day drivers of the economy. They're going to be extremely hurt. And then you got the government funded individuals at the bottom. They're going to sign up first, no hands down. But okay, so now you got your digital ID, you got your CBDC plugged in, because that's going to come next. Because you got to get your access to cash to get back into the system to get things operational. So think about this. Let me see. So the banks have the banking structure has been rebooted, Credit unions might be on the back end. A lot of regional banks might be on the back end. The too big to fail banks are going to be heavily recapitalized, because it's good to say that all the digital ID CBDCs will somehow, some way filter in parallel with the banks, as well as having, because the banks will always have access to the Federal Reserve System. So the Federal Reserve System will be the gatekeeper where this entire surveillance of all transactions and stuff will take place in cooperation with the too big to fail bank. So it's going to be a parallel banking structure where they'll work hand in hand. And of course, it'll be mimicking your old bank account where you log into your Wells Fargo app. But then again, it might be directly tied into the digital ID / CBDC, all into the same payment railway. It can get real technical, but yet simple, because it's all digits that they can see and control in real time. So anyway, it's just, some hypothetical talk that I'm just, talking through as we go. But anyway, so all those events I just listed, you can see how at the end of all that comes the digital tyranny that they're working towards now. So, okay, keep it moving. Got that off my chest. Okay, so here's another little heads up. This here, it's relatively thought provoking, because James Rickards, aka CIA, agent, whatever you want to call him, like him or not, doesn't matter. He's very plugged in with some things. He gives his 2024 forecast here, and I summarize it somewhat just to make it easier, not have to go through everything. But here's the 5 points he touched on in greater detail, saying the presidential election and political landscape will be very problematic. We know that. And so he's basically talking about Joe Biden is not even in his right frame of mind. So eventually they're going to have to replace him with somebody, if they plan on having him, or having the Democratic Party plans on having a viable candidate of some type. But it doesn't matter, because Trump is already landslide favored in every state, it seems. So, more than likely chance of it being a straight shot presidential election, not possible. Then he mentions a global recession. Economic slowdowns in major economies like China, the US, and Japan, along with an existing European Union recession, are leading to predictions of a global recession and an influence by China's economic challenges and stringent US monetary policy. So that's one of the things he sees coming up this year. So presidential chaos, global recession, Ukraine conflict. And so as of right now, I heard some stories earlier that Vladimir Putin has he announced a victory. He claims defeat over Ukraine. So I didn't dive into it much, but of course an article came out from the Western media saying that Putin's economy is running hot. They're taking losses financially and all that other stuff. I'm like, dude, come on now. If U.S. intel is giving us that, we know we can't trust U.S. intel. Anyway, but Ukraine conflict in 2024 will be irrelevant, because I think we're gonna have a lot more issues to worry about. So then the Middle East tensions. It says increased conflicts involving Israel, Hamas, Hezbollah, and Houthi rebels are anticipated, with potential escalation into border regional conflicts, including Iran. So believe me, the U.S. will definitely have an opportunity in 2024, while the world's distracted with all types of other stuff, to go into Iran, because Iran seems to be the middleman in a lot of the Middle East activity dealing with Russia and China. Iran is right dab in the middle, it seems. And then lastly here, this is the fifth thing he talked about, the banking crisis and market predictions. He says a second wave of banking crises are predicted, particularly impacting mid-sized regional banks, potentially leading to a broader financial crisis. Stock markets are expected to decline, but sectors like energy, defense, U.S. government securities could see gain. So these are the 5 areas that Richards forecasted in his little thingy here. So, okay, what else we got here? And then on to another important subject matter that has to do with surveillance and everything else. So I follow Edward Snowden. I think he definitely, since he fled the country, keeps it 100 with his analysis. But yesterday he put out a tweet talking about the NDAA, which stands for the National Defense Authorization Act, aka the Patriot Act, which came into existence in 2001 and has basically been the primary tool that the government has used annually to further surveil the world and U.S. citizens without our permission, unconstitutionally speaking. And it looks like, as of the last 48 hours, there was a lot of heavy debate back and forth on a small piece of legislation that was crammed into the recent defense bill that passed, unfortunately. And so he was, sounding a trumpet, telling everybody to be aware of what they were trying to go get passed. And unfortunately, today it did pass, and a lot of Republicans signed on to it. So this goes into the whole digital surveillance that is underway. But real quick, it says Congress has voted to pass NDAA, in which they deceitfully concealed an extension of the warrantless spy program, Section 702. Universally opposed by the public. It said last year the FBI exploited 702 to spy on Americans, protesters, donors, even Congress more than 200,000 times. And so it says NDA heading to Biden for signature. So Republicans, there was 147 Republicans. And so there's a list of those Republicans put out via the public today, basically saying that these are the people who literally have signed over our country to their true backers, not the American people that put them in office. So basically saying they're traitors. They're traitors to the American people. So let's see if I can real quick find that list. But anyway, the list is out there if you guys care. But a lot of people are not happy. There is rightfully so, because they more the same. So this is the bill. U.S. Congress passes mammoth $886 billion defense bill, now headed to Joe's desk. So almost $1 trillion going to more death, and destruction. The NDAA Authorization Act provision for aid Ukraine and funding to counter China. So literally more. So Zelensky came to town right in time, because he came asking for $61 billion. He probably won't get a lot more. So yeah, Zelensky, yeah, he's, this dude is cleaning house. Okay, what else? So this is just some more information as to what some of the details of that surveillance is, and how basically it will allow all your small mom and pop businesses to spy on you in a sense. So here's more information here about how that bill plays out. So it basically is just an extension of the government being able to spy on you outside of what they already do, and in more fine-tuned, detailed ways, down to the cameras inside of coffee shops and all types of things that they were able to do before, but now they can legally do it. So anyway, that's what it is. All right, so enough of me ranting. For those who are plugged in, this was somewhat of a late night, last minute live stream, but I wanted to get your thoughts on the Civil War movie, this NDAA that went through, you name it. What's on your radar tonight? Let's talk. Hopefully the phone lines work, so feel free to call in. Let me know what's on your radar. We can talk for a little bit, see where it takes us. If it does, if not, then tomorrow's Friday, and should be a good day. But anyway, so feel free to throw out some thoughts, ideas, suggestions, questions in the chat. What other subjects is worth bringing to the table? Because this is the People's Talk Show. So I want to make sure I stay connected to the people. The best way to learn is to make sure you stay connected with your people. So I appreciate you guys for joining me, and looking forward to find out what's on your radar. What else we got here? A lot of back and forth in the chat here. It says robot reboot access achieve. Please look into the camera to confirm ID. Yeah. Interesting times ahead. When if the power goes down. I find it, I would find it very unlikely that we would get a prolonged blackout. I could see it being a more of a shorter term blackout to cause a lot of panic and uncertainty. Then it kicks back on, but then cell and internet don't work, because it's complete chaos if ain't no internet, ain't no power. But let's talk. All right, what we got here? Hello, caller. Where you calling from?
Yeah, Mike. Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Have you been picking up on what's going on out there?
Yeah, signs are everywhere.
one video with that Tucker Carlson Alex Jones interview.
Yeah.
If you can throw that in the queue, that was a very good interview, especially since a lot of us kind of know what's going on already.
Yeah.
But if somebody has a family member or a friend, as we all do, that haven't believed what's going on, well, maybe they'll believe Tucker Carlson since he's quote unquote more mainstream than Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I have for tonight. I'm gonna get off the phone and listen to the rest, enjoy the rest of the show.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in, as always. Yeah, we good. Some interesting news here. Let me get some interesting news here. Let me find out what this is about here. It says on X News, the 12 largest banks in the United States have officially informed their credit card providers that they will stop requiring their services as of midnight Thursday. Let me try. Okay. So yeah, that is definitely large. Let me look at this on largest banks. That is definitely some interesting news. Let me find out more about this. Okay, I see something right here. Let me grab this on the screen here. Let me see what we got here. It says 12. Okay, this is from Jack Straw. 12 of the largest banks in the United States officially notified the credit card as of Thursday, December 14th. So as of tonight, as of to midnight, like as in 2 hours, looks like the credit card game is about to change. So once again, I'm not sure if this is official, like official source. Where's the word? Somebody said, where's the sources of confirm this? So, but anything is possible. Clearly. Hello, caller. Where are we calling from?
Yo, Mike, it's Gio from NYC.
NYC's in the building. What's going on, my friend? So you mind?
Yeah, so I did check out the Civil War trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's giving the Forever Purge.
Mm-hmm.
Me being a big fan of the Purge series, which I find it to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite has to be the last one, the Forever Purge.
Yeah.
So in that movie, it's almost the same thing where the whole country, all of literally tearing itself apart,
Mm-hmm.
and the only way to get out is to escape to Canada or Mexico. So I think they're already programming us to they're already giving us hints here and there. But also another thing too, I think the most probability one is the Demolition Man. Have you ever seen Demolition Man?
Demolition with Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes.
Oh man, that's the old school. I've seen it, but I forgot it. Give me the rundown. Give me the snips on that. It's been a minute.
Yeah. So I really, I think Sylvester Stallone did an incredible job in that movie. But that movie, and anybody else in the chat, you guys could comment as well if you've seen Demolition Man. I believe first there has to be a complete collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Not just in California, which that's where it takes place in the movie, but just the entire country. There has to be some sort of big collapse, and then that's when this reset will happen, and then everything will look just perfect. And who knows, man? We all might be eating at Taco Bell because that's the only restaurant that survived.
But then once again, survive as far as because they're not gonna have no payment methods. I mean, if the internet situation blackout power out, then what are people going to use? Because most people don't got cash. So people won't be paying for food put like that. They're going to go back there. They're going to go behind the desk, go behind the counter and get their own food, i.e., unrest and everything else. So won't be no orderly fashion of standing in line waiting on your food at that point.
Interesting times ahead, Mike. The only thing I could say is, man, just pray up, man.
Oh.
Pray up, and 2024, what Kevin Bacon did, man, in the movie, just stock up on whatever you can, because it's clear that these people, especially Barack, man, they're warning us already, bro.
Yeah, 100%, man. Appreciate your call, my friend.
Man.
Be good.
Care, Mike.
Yep. Yeah, that is real. That is real. Man, just it's so as of right now, heading into Christmas, this is a time to and I look back and reflect on this year, just being grateful for the year and all the blessings in my life, and of course, with the community itself. You guys definitely, if you plugged in, you're awake and aware. God has been so good to us. It's just just a lot to be grateful for. And outside of what the enemy would like to do, God is still in control. He's still working things out for our good rather. And so even in the midst of all this chaos and pandemonium that the enemy has set up, through all this, there's still going to be opportunity. Like, the chaos won't impact everybody equally. And so the biggest thing is like being able to be aware and in tune with what's going on. Of course, staying prayed up, of course, looking for ways to be a blessing to other people, but also realizing that during this process of uncertainty, if we get to that point, on the other side of that, because nothing lasts forever, the goal is to be better off on the back end of all this chaos. And that's where I think like, having a specific strategy. Of course, you say you get your gold, your silver, all that stuff, that's fine. But, you're going to need more than that. You're going to need more than like the wealth preservation tools. That's, that's for the back end to reboot yourself financially. Sure. But, basically, having your health, having everybody, your loved ones taken care of, having security, having, a structured house where you can lay your head at night with safety. Those are all going to be things that, you have to maintain. And on top of that, I'm trying to figure out like, using my creative processes to figure out, how can I, further expand what little bit I do have so that, I'm able to come out on the other end financially okay, as well as socially, spiritually, even probably politically, what I'm saying? Like might end up getting into the political sphere, because if you're awake and in tune, you can literally, you can be a voice that people will definitely cling to if you're speaking truth. So you can be a person that people will want to, put in positions of power or of authority or something like that in a political sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how that'll play out, but who knows, man? What else we got here? Okay. I'm missing many calls. Yeah, forgive me. Yeah, give me a call back. I'll get you on here, man. Sorry about that. What else we got here? The worst D grade film. Fishbowl, we talk about which movie? Demolition Man, looks like. Wesley Snipes. Yeah, that was a futuristic movie, if I'm not mistaken. It says everybody's moving away, going to Costa Rica. Yeah, Costa Rica, man. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's extremely expensive, man. So yeah, not everybody can afford to sustain themselves there. But what I would say, what is it, untapped, but problematic politically speaking, but Nicaragua is a country that is untapped in the sense that it has not been Americanized yet. And I was just there a couple of weeks ago and got a good lay of the land. And it looks like, because their president, was his name Noriega? No, what's his name there? Can't think of his name. Anyway, China is building a road along the East Coast that's going to connect all those countries. So it's going to be heavily influenced by China. Therefore, China's going to definitely have their influence there, politically speaking, as well as, society wise, as far as all that digital stuff. And so you're not going to really escape all that stuff. But yeah, once again, could be a good opportunity. Who knows? Carlos says RTD, maybe a cyber blackout will happen after Bitcoin gets to 1 million players cashing out, but if I go silver, they control everything. Yeah, so that's a whole other ball game there, because as of right now, following this ETF stuff, I'm seeing a lot of excitement because you got BlackRock, who gets a chance to meet with Gary Gensler and the SEC couple times a week to talk about the ETF, and then you got all these other companies. So as of now, I think the list, I think it's like 12 to 14 of the major institutions is looking. Daniel Ortega, good point. Just looking to get access to the ETF. But once again, it's like the game is, once this ETF gets passed, literally like always, whenever the banksters get involved, they take over stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in the short term, there might be a rally, but then again, they're going to control the entry and exit points to where, what good will it be? Like always, control is going to end up in their hands. On top of that, I'm seeing more and more about how the miners right now are starting to censor certain transactions, i.e., if it's not KYC, AML type approving, then they're gonna block your transaction. So if the miners can do it, actually, let me share something with you. This is yesterday I shared this tweet from somebody that, when anybody comes out skeptical, critical about the current, praise and worship or maximalism of Bitcoin, I pay attention because I'm like, okay, finally somebody who's not like, gun ho, it's only Bitcoin, nothing else type of, philosophy. But this is from Chris Black. Never heard him until I saw this. It says, this is not a good chart. He says, two mining pools, both of them force all miners to KYC, comprise 55% of the Bitcoin hash rate. He says we could be one chess move away from some big problems for Bitcoin, but even worse is the fact that nobody really wants to talk about it. Where's the urgency? So basically, it's talking about you got Foundry USA and Antpool controlling 55% of the hash power, meaning that they have more than enough power to cause some disruptions in the blockchain. If they're in a position right now to basically they'd pull off a 51% attack if they wanted to. So mind you, if you got two of the primary players here, the government easily can just come to them and, threaten them a little bit, and that can cause a major issues with Bitcoin. On top of the fact there's other mining pools in other countries, whatever, but still, it's becoming essentially controlled. So it's no longer decentralized is the point. And so this is just one of many other problems that will surface in the near future. So these are things that make me very skeptical. LBP says, Mike, when you go back to Cuba, man, like it's not as easy as it used to be. So I actually looked into it, but you gotta, you can't fly directly to Cuba. So I gotta go to Mexico. I gotta fly to Mexico over, and that'll just take too long. So no plans on going, but definitely do want to go. I've been checking it out. I've been trying to get back. I love some Cuba, man. And I was just actually having a conversation with somebody the other day about this. Like, there's only been one or two countries where I believe, and it seems as if the food and the fruit were 100% organic, homegrown, no hormone, steroid type induced meats and stuff like that, because it tasted nasty. I mean, that's not one of the reasons. One of the reasons why it tasted funny to my taste buds, because I'm only used primarily to artificial preservatives, chicken from the grocery store type stuff, which is not real chicken, point in case. And so Cuba is one of those places where, because of the embargo and stuff like that, a lot of the stuff is actually grown there, or it's imported from Europe and other countries where they have more stringent food codes to where they don't allow all the artificial stuff. So the food tastes different, but it's healthier. And so I was, the chicken, and it's just the portions are small. It's just, it's different. It's noticeably different. And the quality of the food is better. And so I was just in a little side note of where one of the things I miss. What else we got here? Mail-in voting will fix things. So we'll vote. Josh says mail-in voting will fix things. So we're voting for Trump. Man, I will be very, very surprised if between now and November something don't jump off. Because as of right now, with the Federal Reserve pausing, that's basically showing signs that at some point they're going to have to cave in and give. And so how will the markets respond? It's going to be very favorable heading into the election year, because they want people to have that wealth effect all the way around. But the question is, with all the things happening on Main Street, the layoffs, you got the bank situation, you got the bank credit card situation, I'm seeing more and more of the commercial real estate, major skyscrapers in downtown areas, like literally going for pennies on a dollar. So it's just so many other things that, they can't control. And so it's like, okay, how do you cover it up? Do you just literally try to pump the markets so high to where people feel as if their portfolios or 401ks is going higher and all that other stuff? But then again, in the Main Street, the items of the everyday items, grocery stores and stuff like that, those prices got to go high too. So anyway, man, it'd be hard for them to keep this thing going, but we'll see. We will see. Time will tell. Let me see. Did I miss some call? Yep, I did once again. Anyway, what we got here? 44 minutes. All right, my man. All right, my good people. Not Kenneth Gibson. What the hell? Not real chicken. Depending on where it's like, so type in like Walmart chicken in Twitter or TikTok or something like that, and of course take it with a grain of salt. But these people literally, the fake meat is everywhere, and it's getting better to where you may not know what you're eating unless you know unless you caught it, killed it, and cleaned it and cooked it yourself. Beyond that, anything else is technology nowadays make things taste extra good, but it ain't real. The cigars, of course, and the rum. Juan Panamera. That's a song and a cigar brand. I didn't know that until I got there. I ate pizza every day in Italy for a straight week, and I did not gain weight. The cheese, that's another thing. The cheese, man. Cheese outside this country. Cheese in South America is real cheese. So the difference in cheese is that you can actually leave cheese out on a counter and it be okay. Whereas in American cheese, you got to keep it in the fridge because of the preservatives, the additives. If not, it molds quick. Real cheese don't mold like that. That's something I learned from being outside the country. Look for those rubbery things in your meat. I'm late. Thanks for all you do, Mike. Yeah, appreciate you, Laura. Laura, just checking in late. Just talking about another movie that caught my attention. So assuming it caught everybody else's as well. All right, let's get some more people on here. Let me see if I can get you on there. Hello, Carlos. Where we calling from?
Hey, Mike. It's Mike from Jesus Christ, Pacoima, California.
Mike from Cali. What's going on, my friend? Give me some good news.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about the government cheese. Remember from the day they gave it to us?
The block. Yeah, I remember the block.
Yeah, the block. You know how long that they had that cheese in storage for in the limestones?
I have no idea.
They set that up back in the Depression. So they had that cheese stocked up for how many years with all this preservatives and stuff underground. And then they just hand it out like it's safe to eat. And, that's why look into that government cheese.
I got it on the screen right now. I got the box. I got it the big rectangle box on the screen right now.
Yeah, it's not that it's not even fake milk. It might or fake cheese that you're eating. It's just been sitting there for a century. I know they had like the strategic petroleum reserve. They had the same thing with cheese.
Yeah,
and they had to dump it out because it was going to go bad. So it's just how long ago did they make that cheese you consume? Is the question.
Yeah, a good question.
You get it from the farmer.
The government cheese. Yeah, I haven't thought about that or hadn't that. I remember making grilled cheese sandwiches. Them boys used to be so good.
Yeah, because there's all the preservatives that made them taste good.
Oh man, appreciate you, man, for calling in, my friend. Anything else going on in Cali?
Oh man, hopefully a little bit of rain coming maybe next week.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I can get my water tanks filled up again because I haven't paid for water for my yard since I've got those installed.
For real?
Yeah, I've got what is it? About 1,300 gallons IBC totes.
Mm-hmm.
I got them on all of the downspouts of my house.
Really? Okay, doing it big, man.
Yeah. So every time it rains, last year Hurricane Hillary, I haven't paid for water since then.
Hey, more power to you. Way to use Mother Nature for at your benefit, the way we're supposed to.
Yeah, I got to store the water so I can water all my crops. I got orange trees and I'm eating out here.
Yeah,
real stuff too. And it's amazing. It's amazing because I've had these orange trees here all my life. My grandmother had them back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
These are real orange trees. You eat these compared to the store-bought stuff. Oh man, it's oranges and oranges. It's not even oranges.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate your call, my friend. Be blessed out there.
Yeah. Take it easy.
That'd be good. Hello, Carlos. Where you calling from? Hello. Oops. Hello. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hi there. Hi there. Who am I speaking with?
Mike.
LBP. We got a little LBP. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good. Hey, Mike, I just wanted to say something real quick about that movie, you know?
Yeah. Which one? The first one or the second one?
The first one, the We Left Behind.
Yeah.
What do you call it? The whole movie's about trying to program you, like trying to tell everybody to act crazy, you know, like everything's gonna go crazy, you know, people are gonna get violent, you know. It's not true, Mike. A very low percentage of the people actually act that. I went through a blackout also in New York. I don't know if you remember. I gotta get out.
Yeah, I remember it.
Like, we went outside. I had a little TV, right? Like those, you know, those old little black and white TVs that I plugged it into the cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Outside and I put the TV on the dash of my car, and the whole neighborhood, Mike, came to watch the TV. We weren't killing each other, Mike, and we started cooking.
Yeah.
And somebody brought something else, and we were having like a party. You know, somebody brought beer.
Yeah.
Like, when things get crazy like that, Mike, the enemy is the situation. It's either the hurricane or it's government or it's the troops coming in. You know, people pull together. It's not gonna be that way, Mike.
Now watch this.
Small pockets of that, but not like the.
Now that event you're describing definitely sounds doable for like a you know a short period of time, like a day, maybe 2, maybe 3. But I'm talking about, like, you know, say 7 days, a week. After that week, you know, people know the uncertainty of what's going on if it's a prolonged event. But if it's a shorter event, then sure, people will be like, okay, yeah, sure. 3 days off work, hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let's go cook. I'm going to LBP house. We cook it out again today. But okay, once that, like, that nuance of like just like the initial excitement of having no work and just chill wears off, then what? Like, you know, that's when things might get out of hand, because people are like, well, damn, like, I ain't got that much food in the refrigerator, or if the power's out, you know. So go ahead.
Okay, all right. Look, you could go right now to Argentina or Venezuela. The people there, they're not eating each other, man.
Oh, but they got. I mean, but their currency is bad. But their currency been bad for 10 years, so they're used to it. But they got power to internet. Everything is normal there to them because they've been living in that for a long time. It's just that they ain't got no savings on average. They ain't got no pensions, no 401ks. That's gone.
But Mike, the people now, they don't have the 401k now. They ain't spending it. It's sitting there making somebody else money. They're not losing anything.
Yeah. I get you. Yeah, I get you. And I hope, and I also think, apart from just like sharing my comments and thoughts on what's happening here, I'm just like speaking on some, like, you know, it's entertainment for now until it's not, and God forbid it does. But, you know, I'm thinking something more prolonged, to where it's not necessarily about me or you. It's the people who don't know what's coming, the people who live day to day, check to check, you know, meal to meal. What about those people? Like, they're the ones that will take advantage of opportunity, because the police officers, crime is going. I mean, you know, think about it, because the cops gonna be in the same predicament. Their families back home ain't got power, ain't got food, so the cops ain't gonna be about protecting and serving us anymore. It's gonna be about maintaining themselves. So disorder will happen fast if it's a prolonged event. So, and I'd imagine they would want something more attention getting, rather than just a quick 3-day vacation, 3-day week, 3-day extension vacation type of thing. So who knows? But
you also got to think, Mike, when you ain't got no job, you're not gonna have any bills either. So people love that.
Yeah. Hey, the repo man won't be coming, and I guess they won't be coming to foreclosing your house either.
Exactly. They're gonna be helpless. No one's gonna be enforcing it, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, also.
Yeah.
I heard the rewind. You know, there's a guy out there impersonating me. You hear him?
Impersonating you?
Yeah. He was saying he was maxing out his credit cards. I heard him.
Yeah, last night. Oh, the other day. Yeah. He bought a Porsche. Yeah, you got a Porsche or something else.
Like,
He's one of my followers. Hey, I was gonna say, hey, Mike,
Mhm.
just real quick.
Mhm.
Like, I never said anything about what do you call it, secured loans. You know, like if you have collateral,
Yeah.
that's not a good idea. You know, he's talking about buying cars and all this. First of all, he's buying something that's not money, so he's not really gaining anything.
Right.
He's gaining a depreciating asset. And not only that, they're going to come take it, you know?
Right. He's having a good time in the short term. That's basically what it boils down to. So, I mean, whatever his strategy is, I mean, I can see it, but I don't understand it. So it's not for me. So, but yeah, you came to me. I mentioned. I think I mentioned you or something when he mentioned that the LBP method.
Yeah, I just hope maybe he's selling parts. You know, maybe he's scrapping the cars. You know, that'd be smart.
Or he putting it on Turo and making some money off of it, renting it out and getting some income off the dang thing.
Maybe he's renting them or using them for Uber or something.
Get picked up in the Porsche. All right, man. Appreciate you calling. Yeah, be good. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, Uber and a Porsche. Oh, man. All right, man. We about our point, man. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me. I did miss some calls. Forgive me. I'm gonna try to get better with that. But anyway, as always, tomorrow's Friday. It's going to be a good day as always. If you wake up with air in your lungs and right in your right frame of mind, thank the Lord for another day and heading into the weekend. No Mike and Mario tomorrow. We won't pick up again until the beginning of the new year due to schedule changes and stuff like that. But I do got a call right here. Let me get this person. Let me see if I get him on here. Did I get him? Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's your name? Where you calling from? Troy from Dallas. What's going on, man?
The show topic, just wanted to drop some thoughts
Go ahead.
I had while watching the Leave Everything Behind and also the Civil War movie, which is, I guess one is like the precursor, and then the other one is well into the event after it's had some time to metastasize a little bit.
Right.
But one of the more interesting things I thought about that was on my mind, I haven't seen people talk about it. The main actors in the movie, I guess, is Ethan Hawke and the other guy that was the old handyman or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They looked like twins in the movie to me. It was almost as if they're like the same person from that took different life paths. You got the one guy that lived the American dream, and the other guy that's like the old fashioned style American, like do for yourself, like the bootstrap type of guy. But I kind of thought it was a parallel, especially that scene about them when he was bargaining for the money for the medicine for his son.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed like there was some sort of parallel, like these are the same guy, just different circumstances. Like this is the new American versus the original, self-doing attitude of the American, and those two ideologies coming basically clashing just due to the situation, demanding it.
Yeah, and the new American, the guy who was prepared, the guy who was well in tune with what was already going on before the event struck, is he comes off as being like the hero, because I'm assuming those pills might have helped his son. And another thing is that bug that bit his son and he took out his teeth. I'm thinking like, what type of, was that a zombie type of situation? I was wondering where that was going, because that was a little bit extreme there. You know what I'm saying?
That was kind of random, but I think that's, after thinking about it in hindsight, I think that's a big part of the movie is the uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
So much of our life is caught up on screens and on devices, and once you don't have access to your device and you're in the middle of the woods, it's like nothing out there really it matters, but it's like what's going on around you really matters. But our mentality is so projected onto news, current events, and all these things, and it's like if something really goes down, you don't really want to know what happens. You just kind of have a idea from all the media and stuff you consumed before, but once you don't have access to live media, it's like your imagination just sort of takes over. You have nothing but your imagination to go off of, and everything you learned before. There's no internet, no library, or not even time to sit down and study.
Right.
So it's like you sort of left to your own device at that point. Yeah.
Hey, man, appreciate you calling in and sharing the thoughts, man. Good to hear from you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, be good.
Be good.
Yes. Yeah, man. So that's just, a lot of things out there still out that's just being interesting. Carlos says, what do you think was a real purpose of the jab address is no doubt people waiting on marketing bees in it. Yeah, I think that's a part of it, of course. Not I think there's been different vials for different purposes, so not all of them have the Bluetooth activity to them, I think. But once again, I don't know. But once again, I think that was just version 1 of what they would like to actually put out in the population between now and 2030 ish. So we got a long way to go, man. Anyway, once again, we can only control what we can and leave the rest up to God. And that's all we can do, good folks. So with that being the case, signing off. Stay prayed up, get your weight up, enjoy life, smile, love on your loved ones, and just enjoy the moment, because if you are in the land of the living, you are blessed and highly favored. All right, good people. Be blessed. See you. I might live stream tomorrow afternoon instead of with Mike and Mario. So we'll see. But anyway, be blessed, be safe. See you guys later. Peace.